We're live. That was fast.
Yeah, it's gotten faster and faster. Fade in the studio. Fade in remote studio. And
Beach is
It-
that way.
the beach is that way. What's the date?
Today is the 19th of April.
And I'm Chris.
You know what? I'm Charlie.
And we are
Eight ball.
eight balling.
That way.
Or we're infinity balling the other way.
Infinity balling. I have a
I don't
good
know
question
what's
for the
better.
8 ball. Everybody who embraces the day 420, because it's Hitler's birthday, are all those stoners really just apologists for the Nazi movement? Let's see. Outlook, not so good. Okay. I didn't expect that to be a yes, though.
Wait. What do stoners do?
What?
What do stoners do?
You never heard of 420? Like, it's like,
Yeah, that's
420, time to get high.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's
It's
coincidentally
also
the
Hitler's
same
birthday.
day. That I never knew. And now, unfortunately, I'll probably
Yeah.
never forget.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
Thank you. So what, you were just being tongue-in-cheek about the whole thing?
Yes, I was.
Got
but
it.
the 8
Okay.
ball spoke the truth, so it saw through my sarcasm,
Oh, wait.
which is, are you surprised? It knows everything.
It does. Hey, man. It hasn't. Well, careful. Careful what you say, right? It's answered us presumably reliably so far.
Yeah. Do you have a giant piece of the earth in front of you?
I do. I
Is that
broke
a
it out.
Geological. What is it? It looks like Sling Star
it's-
starts with a. I think I know what it is. It's salt based, right?
It's a salt lamp. Yeah,
Oh, it
was
is a
on-
salt lamp. Oh.
Yeah, it was on the floor in my family room, and I'm like, it's kind of cool. I should do something with it. And I thought of light bookends. So when you get to physically return, it'll be maybe like on the other end of you or something.
So does that provide some sort of an aura?
Well, yeah, it's funny. So there it is lit up. I replaced the bulb. I think it's a little too bright. Would you agree?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's bright.
That's only
It's
a
like
7-watt
the camera's
nightlight bulb.
focusing on it.
Yeah. Well, the light's kind of low in here, so the camera's adapting. But anyway, I got on online to read the alleged benefits, and I don't believe any of this shit. So,
Increased fertility.
no, they're saying there's... Right, exactly. Right, like if you eat, I don't know, like powdered...
Tiger penis.
There you go. I was going to go with like elephant tusk, but whatever. Tiger penis works too.
That one's real. It's a real one. So there you go.
Oh, yeah. People eat crazy fucking shit. Wet markets.
Guess what country?
Mm,
Mostly just China.
mostly China.
And mostly just over there.
Yeah.
Which is
So
why
what's the
this
cat? The
fucking
civet or whatever it's called?
pandemic.
That was the... That
A
was
civet. Yeah.
Civet. Isn't that where SARS-1 came from?
Yeah. Yeah, civet. SIBET, I think.
Yeah.
Or
so
CIBET. I don't know.
I think it's C. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But so back to the salt thing. It allegedly gives off negative ions, which attach to positive ions and make bad stuff fall out of the air. So it's a fucking rock, right? And the light that goes in it, where'd I put the little replacement bulb? Right here. So that was 7 watts. This is the bulb that's going to go in it next. That's 4 watts. That'll still make it plenty bright.
Oh, that'll be better.
This doesn't generate enough heat to make the thing do anything. So they're saying it's salt, and then you heat it up with a bulb that barely gets to room temperature, and then it gives off negative ions that react with positively charged particles, and all the bad shit falls, and and on and on and on. That's the biggest thing, and then other health claims, but it's a bunch of bunk. I mean, maybe if you got it like super hot and sprayed it with something, and the salt literally kind of
Yeah, if you take like a
ozonated
water,
the air or whatever. Yeah, but a dry
I can see
stone that you get warm. Yeah, but it looks cool. My mom gave it to me for
Wouldn't
Christmas.
it just? Oh, cool.
For
Yeah.
however
Wouldn't
long
like
ago.
don't they just mine that shit like wherever it is in the earth? There's got to be hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of tons of it somewhere, right? Wouldn't that
Oh,
just
yeah.
be like this is the calmest place on earth? It's like we have all this stuff, right? Like
Like everybody would be
wouldn't they
healthy
have noticed
and
something?
like the Fountain of
Yeah.
Youth kind of thing. If they worked in the mines,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
that's a reasonable road to go down.
Thank you.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's the Himalayan. Have you seen like Himalayan
Pink
ocean
rock
salt?
Yeah, that shit's good.
Yeah,
That stuff
it
rocks.
legitimately. Yeah, well, that's what this is. It's pink Himalayan salt, so not powderized. And yeah, it has a bunch of
Waiting for you
minerals
to
and
get
shit
my
like
joke.
that, but that's not what
okay.
it's purported to do. But it looks cool, and it was a gift from my mom, and it's a prop on the table, so it's paid for.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah. I have my
You know what?
stuff. Oh, you can't even see it on that.
It's small. Oh yeah, you're cropped out. There you go.
There you go.
So we got Malcolm the 8 Ball, the Chaka of the Globe, and
This is a Mont Blanc ink. Mont Blanc.
Getting fancy. I told the
Man,
Mont Blanc story,
the
right?
bottles are even cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You write with a fountain pen. Yeah, that's a different kind of writing.
it's,
There's actually something to that. But,
I
mean,
bought I bought a pen. It was $600. I thought, why not?
but it's a fountain pen. You know, do you have the
it's just like
do you have the little thing you put it in? It's an accessory, which is like another $500.
what?
It's
Like a
it's a Mont Blanc
leather-
base, and it's it's a pen stand.
I do not have one of those. I don't even have the pen yet. I just bought it like 3 days ago. So it's still coming.
Oh, well, wait a
This
minute.
is just
Didn't you
some
write
other
with a
pen.
fountain pen at work for a while?
Yeah, this is just a different fountain pen. Yeah. Like
Okay.
I have like these are all fountain pens. I have a bunch of them.
I did not know that. And the Mont Blanc is the new fountain pen.
Yeah, it was it was $580.
All right, you got to put it up in the screen
But-
again. I'm gonna make you big, so you get everything to show off your pen. This is like a
Man,
Michael
fancy
Malice
nice.
moment. Put it way up close.
This is not the pen.
Oh, it's not.
This is a $30 pen. No.
Did I
This is
miss?
$30.
Did you say you had ordered it and you don't have it yet?
Yes, it has not yet arrived.
So how do you have the box?
This is just for ink.
Oh, got it. So they
Green ink.
make.
It's a green
Okay,
pen.
cool. They make a desk stand that I always thought was cooler than the pens themselves. And it's a big base, and you stick the pen in it, and you can put any kind of pen in it. You could even put a Bic in it, I suppose. I'm not sure if it blows up or not. But it would keep your fountain pen, if you dipped it, from evaporating for some period of time. Anyway.
Oh,
I think
wow,
it's
that's pretty cool.
yeah. If you go on their site or to their store, do they still have a store in Somerset?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I do have to go to Somerset to fix my Shinola watch that fucking broke
Really? Already?
when I was carrying it.
How'd it break?
It was physical damage. So
Oh,
yeah,
bummer.
it's just a pin rod or whatever. Fuck broke. Yeah.
For the band?
The strap. Yeah.
You know what? Watch band stores aren't open. I was going to say you can just go to the corner store for that. But they're not open.
Gotta wait. Yeah.
Bummer.
And I'll go and pay for the fucking nice Shinola one too, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, honestly, you don't really need the extra pen lifetime. If you're using it every day, it's not gonna dry out. You have like 5 days before a fountain pen gets dry.
From one dip?
You don't dip it. It's got
Cartridges?
yeah.
Oh. I thought you were using one where you dipped it in the ink and then you write for a while and then you dip it back in the ink and the quill
That's a
holds.
quill pen.
Okay.
That's a quill. Yeah. This is the other way to do it. This is just a different. It's the same exact pen, but it's got a piston. So this thing you can, and if I do it right now, it'll spill ink all over the computer. But you can like spin this thing on top, and it like sucks up ink, and you can like. So that you do literally dip it. Yeah.
That's cool. So is that how the
And you
Mont
do
Blanc's
literally
gonna
dip
work?
it in the ink.
Is that
Yeah. And it
So
works better with it.
you fill up the reservoir and it lasts however long? So do you feed that down as you use the ink up?
No, I just let it sit. And then when you're done, you just dip this into this, and you suck it up, and then you're good to go. I haven't used like any of that.
Huh.
Anyway,
You reminded me of Michael Malice.
all of our
right
viewers.
now.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I like the guy. He's amusing. I watched him a little bit today. In
So
fact,
did I.
there was something he brought up that I was going to mention to you, and I can't remember what it is. Trying to think, but nothing happens. Anyway,
I'm sure you're used to it at this point.
I am used to it. I'm old. I've lost my creativity and ability to think on my feet.
Motivation.
All right, so a couple topics that you were going to lead us off on. I'm ready.
So, I'm sure that as the some of you viewers know, Chris and I live in Michigan. The either number 3 or number 2 right now on coronavirus infection. I don't know, total number of infected bodies, right? And then Whitmer just the other day started kind of tamping down on the restrictions. So no more visiting your friends. You can't travel in between residences. You can only leave the house if you're going to either a grocery store, something an essential store, or if you're an essential worker, obviously, or if you're going to take care of a loved one or their pet. You can't just go to visit them and say hi, or you can't you're like, oh, I'm going up north to stay at the cabin for the weekend. Cop's like, oh, let me just write you $1,000 fine there. So, a lot of the Michiganders here. That's what I heard. Yeah. And then the company that I work at, which is vast, a lot of people were going around saying they were getting tickets for going to Home Depot and buying non-essential things. So you'd buy stuff, leave the store, and then the cops would write you up, being like, you bought paint. Paint isn't essential. You'd be like, fuck you, cop. Yeah. And it used to be $500,000.
There's arguments to that. My house needs painting. Otherwise, the wood's going to rot. Literally.
And I'll have termites. Yeah.
It's funny. I thought about that today. I got a handyman doing work on my house in this downtime.
What's his name?
His name starts with a B.
Jose.
Oh,
yes. Okay. Wait, everybody on this show knows the handyman.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Anyway. I just thought of something mean to do if I wanted. I can shrink you.
People have been doing that to me my whole life.
Okay.
So I'm okay with it.
So, when were these Whitmer neck downs? Are they suggestions or are they law?
Prohibited. It's law. So it's an executive order. I don't fucking know how that works, but anyway, this whole thing sparked a bunch of protests in downtown Lansing at the actual Sparrow building. Is that what it's called?
The Capitol? I'm not sure.
Sparrow? Yeah, I think it's called the Sparrow building.
I did see
I don't
the
know.
guy who was purported to be the leader, at least in the news conference I saw. Conservative guy, right? Obviously.
I don't know.
Um, sure, why not? For the purposes of individual liberty, I'm conservative
Sure.
all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wasn't it supposed to? Did they do it from their cars? That's what I remember the guy saying.
Well, they did a gridlock, and then they also did actual, like, literal poster holding protesting. And there's dudes walking around with fucking fully loaded AR-15s slung over their shoulders.
No,
Which-
really?
Yeah, which by the Michigan Constitution is totally lawful and not illegal in any way.
Right, we're open
So-
carry, right?
Yeah. So as long as you're not brandishing a firearm, in other words, pointing it threateningly at someone or using it as a, as a weapon, it's just like on your back. You can't do shit about it. It's just there, and that's what's gonna happen. And they're right outside her office, just like walking around.
How many
We got our eyes on you.
protesters
I don't know how
were
many
there?
people. 50, maybe 100.
Huh. How many were armed?
I don't know. Half of the people that were there, maybe, or 20% of the people that were there.
So
They're all
what are
Trump
you?
people? They all have guns. They're all rednecks.
Okay.
Sorry, but that's what they that's what they are.
Are you and I rednecks?
No, but you and I wouldn't go and protest with fucking guns on our backs, right?
Presumably no. I guess it would. Maybe.
Why? What would spark you to do that? Just
I
fill
don't
me in
know.
really quick.
I don't know. I don't know an answer to that. That's like an
See, there you
infinite
go. So if there's-
hypothetical.
Yeah, so if there's something that was literally like threatening our rights as people, like, then maybe, hey, I'm gonna go and walk around with a gun just so they, to remind them that I'm, not as weak as I seem.
Yeah, I guess you know
But-
what. A better answer would be I never see myself protesting. I'm not an activist.
Yeah.
On conservative issues or liberal issues, I think that's goofy. It's important though. I mean, it's a First Amendment thing, but I don't see myself being part of that.
I mean, it is
interesting
important,
story.
but yes, it is also goofy.
Interesting story. So this is like, that for like 5 weeks I was in the School of Social Work at U of M, right?
Yeah.
Highly liberal bunch,
Retarded.
leftist
yeah.
bunch, for sure. So this was, I forget what was going on at the time, but one of my professors had protested. So she was older at that time, had protested in Vietnam. And there was something they were going to protest. It was right when Granholm got elected. I forget. They were going to, maybe it might have been Iran or Iraq or whatever. This was 2002. Was that Iran? Was that the invasion of Iran? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So she was all
I was 5.
psyched about, she was talking to her husband, that she was psyched to go protest. Like, literally, she was going to a social event, and she was just excited about it. Yeah. And it wasn't necessarily, I mean, I think she had passion for the cause, but she was more excited about going to an event than actually
Like meeting people,
taking a stand for something. Exactly.
like with similar ideals. Yeah, that's
Yes.
fucking whatever. That's fine. I can't even be mad about that. If you're going like more so to meet people than like as a protester, I don't know. I guess
it depends how you look at it. I see your point where you'd be like, all right, they're going because they're going to have fun and they're not like angry mob type people. But the flip side of that is they're going and they are ensuring by exercising the activity that our ability to exercise our First Amendment right is indeed alive and well.
Yeah, that's also true. The way I think of it, like the only reason I would ever go to something like that is if there's like a girl I was trying to
You were interested
impress
in?
or sleep with or whatever. Yeah,
That's so
I'd be
funny.
like, yeah, I'll go. Yeah, no, I mean, Yeah, my body, my rights. Totally. Let's go.
That is really, really funny.
Whatever. I think
No, that's
80%
good.
of dudes my age would do that. Yeah.
The candor's a little ballsy. That's cool. That's
Whatever.
cool.
I would do that. It's fine. But I don't give a fuck. Like at the end of the day, I think they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
The government.
Wow. So I didn't realize this was Thursday or Friday that she said this.
It's all week, but
But-
I don't know when she. No, she did it on Monday.
But was this coincidental with extending the day? The date?
No, it was prior to, and I even got like an Amber Alert, type deal.
I think I did too.
Yeah, and it was like, hey, here's the new guidelines. XX or X, Y, and Z are prohibited travel, and you can't travel between houses. So, it sucks to suck.
Well, you know what though? The handyman who came here, since I don't have the ability to care for my house for most of the shit outside, he is helping somebody with a disability technically.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, it
true.
could wait. The lawn's mowed and the leaves are raked and whatever. You said to help a
Yeah.
family member too, right? So that qualifies.
Yes. I don't even think
Right.
it needs to be a family member. I think it can just be if you're going to help somebody, like who needs to be
With
helped.
whatever.
That's fine. Yeah.
So he was that was legit. Yeah. He and I want to find some place to go plinking.
Your backyard.
Yes.
Who the fuck's gonna come outside?
Yeah, Brian said there's some law about you have to be 200 yards or more from any physical structure. Plus
It's
the
200
safety.
feet from a dwelling.
200. Oh, it's feet. It's not yards.
From a dwelling. Yeah. That's the
Plus-
law verbatim.
Plus making it safe, right?
Yeah, whatever. You can't be like shooting. You can't be 200 feet away from somebody's house shooting at their house.
Or
But yeah.
shooting up in the air or whatever. Woohoo.
That's also a verboten. Yeah, correct. Yeah, 200 feet from a dwelling, which just means a structure that a human, occupies.
Might be in. So pole barn would be a dwelling.
Yes, because it's considered a livable structure,
Okay.
I think.
So the protest, did it get coverage? Did anything come of it? I mean, I'm
Oh,
trying
there's
to
a shitload of coverage.
Yeah.
All of
National?
my friends are like, yeah, I did. A lot of my friends that go on Facebook, everybody's like, if you're protesting in Lansing today, fuck you. And like, unfriend me right now. And I'm like, I think that's a little bit harsh. I don't know how many people are actually there. Like 200 tops, I would say.
Well,
Probably.
again, whether you agree with it or not, it's important that you agree with the activity in principle. Because when you start, again, it's cancel culture, right? The whole Charlottesville thing. That got ugly and there were some shitty outcomes, but you have to support people's rights, even if what they're talking about is ugly. You can't just selectively suppress. I mean, that's what
Correct.
makes America great. You're free to be an asshole. You're free to be bad, as long as you're not harming anybody or have bad thoughts or whatever, right?
Bad to the bone.
There you
go. Bad. What's the start of that song? When I was born. Never mind. Yes, I agree. That's fair.
No. Right?
Yeah. On the day I was born, the nurses all gathered round, and they gazed in wide wonder. I don't know. Whatever. That's a great song.
That's funny.
Yes, you should have the right to protest, and you should also respect that right for people, but you also have the right to tell those people to fuck off because it's stupid what they're protesting. That's fine.
Yeah, for sure. for sure.
You just be like, I don't like. You could have Klansmen protesting like civil rights, and you'd be like, "Fuck you, dude. That's shitty."
Well,
You know?
that was Charlottesville. The Klan
No,
arranged
it
a
was not.
protest,
But yes,
or had a rally or a gathering or whatever, and then there were protesters rallying against the rally and whatever, and then it just got out of hand.
anti-protesters, they call it. Yeah.
And then Trump created
that was not what
sound
Charlottesville
bites.
was.
Pardon me?
But yeah, that was
Isn't-
not what Charlottesville was.
Didn't start out
No,
with
it was
a
not the
rally.
Klan. No,
I thought, or a white
no
supremacist group.
KKK.
No, it was white supremacist
It
group, right?
was America First, I think.
Okay. Is
I
that
don't
a
fucking
what?
know. Whatever.
Are they white supremacists?
Sort of. Yeah. I mean, Mike Malice was there, so is he a white supremacist? He's not even white. He's a Jew. So
He's
I'm just
white.
joking. That's a joke. I'm
You know the
kidding.
one thing did you see the guy he was talking to today?
Dave Smith,
Is that the dark-haired, scruffy beard comedian?
Jewish guy.
Thin,
yeah, he's
thin.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love him.
the one thing Malice says, and he says it over and over, and the more I listen to him, the more I like the guy, because he's working a shtick a little bit. I think he's a really good guy. I think he's a very compassionate guy.
Yeah.
But here's what he said today, and he said this before. He goes, "Is somebody who was born in a different country and grew up in a different culture." So he left Russia or wherever he was born, Ukraine, whatever it was,
Ukraine.
before he was 1. So he says for somebody who was born in a different country and raised in a different culture, it sounds like he was born someplace else and raised someplace else until, 10, 12, 15 years old. Do you not agree? He really milks that.
He was.
I was born in Russia. I was born in Russia. Dude, you left before you even had memory.
Yes, he was 2 years old when he came to the United
2.
States.
Okay.
And he was raised by Ukrainians. I would say that has a bigger impact on him than actually being born fucking
Yeah, but
anywhere.
I know, but he
So your
conflates,
parents are legit
he
Ukrainians.
conflates the two to kind of create a narrative that doesn't exist. He said, I was born in a different country and raised in a different culture, which gives me different perspective.
He was raised in a different culture.
I
That's
get
not a
that.
lie.
But if he says, a better thing to me to say would be, you know what? My parents grew up and lived in Russia until they were young adults. And as a matter of fact, I lived there until I was 2 and blah, blah, blah. He doesn't say it like that, which that's the accurate
As a matter
story.
of fact,
What he says is, I was born someplace else and raised differently. And it makes it sound like his formative years were someplace else.
that's fair, but he will explain. That's actually a fair point. He will explain though when pressed.
Yeah, but if
that
he
he
said,
wasn't
hang on,
actually,
dude,
like,
hang
raised
on,
in
dude.
Ukraine.
Explain to me that, wait, you were born someplace else. How long did you live there? We moved out just before I was 2. I'd be like, really? So aren't you being a little disingenuous here? And I think he might cop to it. No, he wouldn't. He would say, I was born someplace else. And
Yeah.
but he's milking it. He's milking it. It bugs me.
Oh, for sure. A little bit. Yes, I agree. But the main thing is that I have a book. Oh, God, I should go grab it right now and show you. But it's a book wherein he is the subject of it, called Ego and Hubris. And it's a cartoon by Harvey Pekar. 234 pages or something like that. And when you read that and you kind of like, without knowing how it's different, like the lifestyle of a second gen Ukrainian, it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's very different. And like, you learn a lot about how that culture is different, and it's fucking harsh as hell. My God. Like the women are just like evil. Your dad doesn't love you, shit like that. Maybe that's unique to his situation, but
Totally, I totally get that. Again, if he says,
Yeah.
my parents grew up in and lived well into adulthood in Russia, and I grew up with that culture and blah, 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 I'd be like, got it. But again, he prefaces the whole thing by saying, I was born in a different country. Again.
Because he's an immigrant. He likes to play that card.
I know, but it suggests a narrative that doesn't exist, which is it makes you think that he grew up in some non-American culture geographically.
Third world country.
Or what?
Yes, that's a fair point. It does. It's a slightly disingenuous. I agree.
Okay. Good enough.
Okay.
I'd like to meet that guy. Just haven't real
I met him. He was a
conversation with the
fucker.
guy. Really?
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Huh.
We went to watch his show in the studio.
Yeah, but you were like 17
we were
years
like-
old, right?
I was 20 or 19.
Oh, you were.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever it was.
I thought it was longer ago.
So I went
so why
there.
was he a fucker?
No, it was like we like went. So I like did all the right shit. I was like I planned out a trip to go to New York, right? And I like emailed the show and I was like, hey, me and my brother would love to watch in studio Gavin McInnes and Michael Malice. Like we're gonna be in town. If it's cool, we'd love to do that. I'll pay for tickets, whatever the case is. And they were like, don't worry about it. You can totally come in and watch. Gavin's at 9:30. Malice is at 2. We're like, cool. All right. So I went in and watched Gavin's show. You can actually watch the episode, and he's like making fun of us on the show. It's pretty funny. It's a good like nostalgia thing. But
I gotta see that.
and then with Malice, yeah, I'll show it to you. He's like, don't kiss me on the cheeks, you two F-homos after the show. But and then we show up for Matt. We go out and have lunch, right, at the bar across the street. We come back, and then Malice is there, and we like walk in, and the same girl, Allie, she's like, yeah, go right in, it's fine. Like he's about to start. We're like, cool, right on, thank you. And we go in and sit down. He's like, what is this? What are you doing? What's going on? We're like, whoa, we're just gonna sit and watch the show. And he's like, and we're like, I was like, is that okay? And do you want us to leave? And he's like, no, it's fine. And I was like, no, really, we can go. Like, it's okay. I don't want to step on your toes. He's like, everything's fine, apparently. Don't worry about it. Just sit down. I was like, oh my God, you're so touchy. Yeah.
No,
was
yeah,
good.
he's an interesting guy. He seems pretty
Very.
introverted, but I think
Very. Well, I wouldn't say introverted.
no,
think
I don't
that's
know, man.
inaccurate, Yes.
that room with the CDs seems like he's in there a lot.
It's his house.
I get that, but again, he seems.
Aren't you in your house a lot?
Yeah, I was told by the governor not to leave.
Whatever.
No, before coronavirus.
I like him.
No, I
Either
mean,
way.
I physically left for work every day. I enjoy getting out of here and doing stuff. He seems like he's a reclusive guy. He seems like,
Okay, recluse is different than an introvert.
yes, but I think there's a very, very strong correlation there.
Sure. Okay.
Because
Fair enough.
introverts aren't going out and looking for attention and being in public places and all that, for sure. I love going to the bar. I love meeting new people. I am, if anything, more towards an extrovert.
I would say the same about myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in your house a lot. It doesn't mean you're introverted, and it doesn't mean you're reclusive.
No,
it just means you got shit to do that happens to be there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
I don't know the guy.
Fair
right?
point.
So so did you physically meet him after the show, or?
Yes, we hung out for like 10 to 20 minutes in the green room, and I listened to Michael Malice, Anthony Cumia, and Gavin McInnes like pong ideas off of each other. It was like the coolest thing I've ever been a part of. Easily. It was all very, very interesting. It was literally the weekend after Charlottesville, or the week after Charlottesville.
Oh wow.
So they were all talking about everything. And I was like, It wasn't fucking. It was like they were saying shit that was wrong, and I was like, "That's not what happened." Like,
What were they
trying. And
saying?
Malice was obviously right. He was there. I don't remember what the hell it was, but Gavin was saying stupid shit about like he just fucking hates liberals. So I was. He was saying stuff, and I'm like trying to bite my tongue, like you're kind of wrong about that. Whatever. And then Kumio was like the coolest dude ever. We walked out of Malice's show, and he was sitting on the couch. And I was like, whoa. He's like, yes, I'm real. And it was hilarious. But, yeah. That was cool, man. And none of those people remember me, which is nice. So
How do you know that?
none of them even know I exist. Why the fuck would any of them care?
I don't know.
I dropped one joke that made them laugh. And it was like, they're like, where are you from? And I was like, Detroit. And they're like, oh, don't get killed. I'm realizing now that I probably shouldn't say the joke. But I was like, no, it's fine. I live where the white people live. And everybody laughed. But that was it. Obviously, it was a joke. So disavow.
fine.
I apologize. Yeah.
Hey, they set the tone.
Yeah, exactly.
Detroit,
What the fuck were we talking about?
where the weak are
Lansing?
eaten. So the protest. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It's funny that the guy that I saw, and I saw this all of 2 minutes. He was purported to be, at least by the local news I was watching, the leader of it. But he said they were going to protest from their cars, so as not to introduce germs to others. So they said, what, you're just going to drive around? He's like, yeah, basically. But you said there were people marching with signs, right?
Yes, there's people standing on the steps of Sparrow Hall. Yeah.
So it either grew legs or there were different factions.
It definitely grew legs, I think.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. Gretchen Whitmer's an idiot. She's an idiot. I don't necessarily disagree with what she's doing, but setting coronavirus aside, she's an idiot. She's just not a smart person. And
Trump
and
did
if-
call her. Sorry, go ahead.
if she's on Biden's short list with the difficulty he's having, as much as I don't want to vote for Trump, Biden's losing it and she's a moron. What do I do? I think I vote for myself again. I've told you I've written myself in for a couple of elections, right?
You might win this time. Everybody's looking for a new fucking candidate.
Hey, everybody.
Um,
Chris McKay, write me in.
Chris McKay. Yeah. That's
think I had-
MAC. Yeah. Yeah,
It's
right.
It's on the if you go to the YouTube page and do a couple of clicks, you figure
It's
out
on
who I
there,
am anyway.
yeah.
I don't care. You know what bugs
it just
me
says
isn't-
CJ the Great.
Yeah, now it does because I changed it. If you Google my cell phone number, you can get my address. I don't like that because of all the texting and shit.
That's fucked up. Yeah.
Attached to. Well, it's from racing. So I was raced or
Yeah, it shows up on your treasure or whatever.
no, it was on a flyer. So it was on flyers that were
Yeah.
circulated, and it was like, for race concerns, contact Chris McKay at. So yeah, I don't like that. I don't. You almost need two phones, like, yeah, because you need your phone number to do so many things now.
I got 2 phones.
Yeah, I just don't like my addresses. Bam, right up there. Not good.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't like that either.
No. Anyway, so you had a couple things. You had the protest. What was the other thing? Don't remember. It was
Talked
coronavirus
about
and
pens.
politics mixed. What did we leave off the protest?
Oh, the actual constitutionality of it all. So, like, by her telling us we can't do that stuff, that's fine to me, I think. Like, I don't even know what the Constitution says, but fine, whatever. Like, if that's what it
Yeah.
takes, then do that.
I've never so much as read a word of the Well, I don't know if that's true, but I have no recollection
that
of
long.
ever having read the Michigan Constitution. So I, there's no such thing as martial law in a state, right? Because there's no federal. I mean, there's no state sanctioned army, right? There's a state police. I wonder what I wonder what it says.
There's a Michigan National Guard
There is.
or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
I wonder
National
if
Guard.
she.
Does that make sense? Yes, that does make sense. Michigan National Guard. Yeah.
Well, it kind of doesn't, right? Because it's national. Is it national or
Right.
is it Michigan?
But that's just because if it's like if you have the Baron and then the Duchess or the Duke or whatever, and it's like the Baron is like, hey, Duke, give me your people so I can go and fucking fight this war. But when there's no war going on, it's the Duke's guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still curious as to what authority she has in terms of the Michigan Constitution and to what degree she has any say over what the National Guard may do. Because if the states have their version of martial law, which they can't, I wouldn't think, because it's addressed in the U.S. Constitution, which means everything else. The shit that falls to the states is the shit that's not addressed in the U.S. Constitution.
State of emergency.
Now I got to read it. I got to know what she's allowed to do and what she's not to do.
I want to pull this mic out so I can drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, state of emergency. That's got to be the thing, right?
If governors have the right to if they have the ability to basically mobilize groups with guns, that would make me nervous.
Oh, fuck yeah, they can do that.
A governor?
I have no doubt. Yeah. Yes, of course.
Huh.
Hang tight.
Huh.
This is getting on my nerves.
Not knowing.
Yeah.
You're going to pull up the state constitution?
No. That'd take too long to read. The governor can activate National Guard personnel in response to natural or man-made disasters. Bam.
Wow.
So the Michigan National Guard works for Whitmer, but Trump before Whitmer. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
that
not
makes
too
sense.
keen on that. I'm not too keen on that at all. Gretchen Whitmer, fix the damn roads,
Yeah.
which she hasn't done. Fix the damn roads.
Hasn't done what?
Fix the
Oh, yeah,
damn
fix the
roads.
damn roads.
Shovel ready. Hey, Obama, what'd you do? Fucking nothing. Remember that was his big thing in his first campaign? Maybe you don't. That was, what, 2004? How old were you in 2004? You probably weren't paying attention.
I was 7 years old.
Wow. That's crazy. So Obama's first...
How old were
his
you in
big thing...
2004?
I was 38.
God, you're so old.
I am so old. I'm old, gray, and wrinkly.
Sorry. Yeah, I was in middle school when he got elected the second time.
Okay.
And, well, obviously, when Trump got elected, I was in my second year of my sophomore year of college.
Okay.
Yeah.
But wasn't so Obama's big thing was his big national improvement and instant, jolt to the economy was quote unquote shovel ready. So all this infrastructure, roads, bridges, buildings, water lines, and on and on. He's like, the country's infrastructure has been neglected for so long by every administration, and these projects are shovel ready. And that's the first thing we're going to do. And he didn't do a freaking jack all.
I did not even know that about him, and it makes so much more sense why he won. Now, forgive me, but infrastructure is like a fucking issue that literally everybody can get behind.
Yeah.
So if you, like, if you're, first of all, black guy, controversial, whatever, whatever you want to call it, controversial, I think it is. Infrastructure is the least controversial topic known to man. That makes sense to me.
It is, yeah. The problem is, well, it's like the Gretchen Whitmer fix the damn roads, right? So everybody, that was her mantra. That was her thing. That's like what she opened with and closed with. Fix the damn roads. Nobody's ever done it before. I'm going to do it. So then she said, we either need to raise the sales tax, raise state income tax, or raise gas tax, or some combination thereof. And then everybody lost their mind. And I was like, that was the one thing I stuck up for her for, which is, so she made her promise. Now she's trying to pass a bill to raise taxes to fund what she promised. And people are totally down at her. This is expensive
like,
shit.
Well,
right?
Well,
And
fuck
states
you. I don't want to pay for it. I thought you were just going
Right.
to do it.
Right, exactly. And states aren't allowed to go into debt like the national government, right? You gotta fucking fund stuff.
Well, no, it's the debt is nationalized. Yes, correct. You can't.
no, but
you literally
states can't go into
I don't
debt.
think.
You're not allowed to. It's
Yes,
illegal.
you literally cannot. Yes, you literally can't do it because at some point the debt is nationalized.
Well,
Never mind.
yeah, but that's different.
That's a
but
whole
states don't
fucking
have a
rabbit hole.
way. States can't create debt to fund shit. They have to fund it with
Yeah.
real revenue, right? They can't
Well,
just
thank
float.
God.
They can't just
Otherwise-
float bonds to China, and all of a sudden have a bunch of dollars that didn't exist before in their hands. You're not allowed to budget that way at the state level, anyway. And I'm like, well, what, And the gas tax was the most close thing to like a use tax, other
Pay by
than toll,
use, yeah, that makes
other than
sense.
toll roads, and I hate toll
I
roads.
disagree with it, but correct. You have to throw some stuff for marinas in there, right? If you have a boat, you don't have to pay a road tax.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
Sorry.
got to pay
I
for it,
just imagine Michigan printing money. It's funny.
right? Tell you what, Detroit's fucked, man. Without the casino revenue, Detroit is hosed.
Look, I found this. This is what the piston converter looks like without a pen on it.
Okay.
So you see that? It just spins.
Oh yeah,
And like it goes up like that. And then
got it.
it just comes down.
Similar to a syringe in function.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go.
So wait, does that thing just get pulled down as the ink goes away?
No, it just sits there. It doesn't move.
Well, you back it off to get the ink in, right? So is the top of that little thing, the little rubber stopper or whatever, when you're almost empty, is that ridden down the inside of the cylinder?
No, it does not change. What I could do is, you see how there's like a bubble up top?
Mm-hmm.
I could flip it upside down, and then but it'll just spray ink everywhere. Like ink will just come out the pen.
Yeah, but you can squeeze the bubble out, right? Until the
Yes, but I don't know how far I have to go.
right. But you're going to be able to move it
Okay,
some
so there you go.
amount.
Now there's the bubble.
Okay. So air
if I
just
do
goes up
that-
and okay. Air just goes up and up and up. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. So air just
Still low. I'm curious now.
travels up. If you're careful, you're gonna see it. While you're doing this, let's
worked. Sorry. God, I feel like we're autistic. That worked. Are we killing the show? It's been about an hour.
No, I'm just giving people a little music to watch the ink by.
Yeah, that worked. Let's see if it works. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do that every day, though. Because you can go through a full cartridge in a day if you really...
if the ink's flowing. Well, I don't think he pressurized it.
See that?
Yes.
It says, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not the gayest, though.
No, just gay in general.
Right. I can take that.
Um,
I'm just not the gayest.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. Anyway, Gretchen Whitmer, fix the damn roads. Whatever.
She just sucks, dude. She's so. If she walked into a fucking like gas station with you, I'm not talking about like a across the aisle at a fucking grocery store. I'm talking about in a gas station, like it's this big. You know, you're like, is that Gretchen Whitmer? Like you wouldn't know who she is. She's so plain and boring looking. She's not like doesn't have a unique face whatsoever.
Well,
She's just a person.
yes. Yes. But beyond that, there's nothing like. You mentioned one time, more than one time, about people having a presence about them. And I mentioned that I had recently been, when we talked about this, with Mayor Duggan, and that he impressed me. And I forget who you said just kind of like oozed charisma and leadership. Was it the Quicken Loans guy that you met? I think it was him.
Jay Farner?
Is that maybe that's who it was?
Oh yeah. No. Bauman. Whoa, that guy. Yeah. That's the guy.
And there have
Yeah.
been a couple of people I've been around where you just they just got something going on, right? There's just something about them. I think if she walked in a gas station, would just be like a frumpy woman.
Hi.
Right. Fix the
Can I
damn
get
roads.
some
That's all I can hear in my
regular-
head about fix the damn roads.
you.
Like just an annoying like lady in your neighborhood, you know, with the screechy voice.
Yes. No. I have the perfect comparison of this woman. So when I was in 6th grade, so first year in middle school out of grade school or elementary school, whatever you want to call it. Mrs. Pittman, and I don't have a fucking problem outing her because she deserves this. She was so crazy. She'd be yelling at you and like have a smile on her face. She'd be like, "Now we're not gonna do that. Stop that right now, or I'll fucking kill you." It's like stuff like that. You'd be like, "Whoa, that's not normal."
Like she's
And
a
Whitmer is the
sociopath?
same way. Yeah, it's fucked up, and it's like you're like, I'm 10. Stay away from me.
That's funny.
It's like everything
10.
is fine except for the words that are coming out of my mouth. Yeah.
I'm 10.
Oh, you don't want to end up a failure
that.
because you didn't do your book report and you're terrible at homework. You're like, whoa, that hurt. Yeah, whatever. She was just psychotic. And then Whitmer, I get the same exact vibe off of her.
You better get your homework done or you're going to find yourself on the other end of a couple cinder blocks and a rope and a lake. Wow,
Your parents
lady.
are going to be receiving pieces of you for years in the mail. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
You're
I
like,
got to totally shift gears and be unprofessional, but have you seen
Go.
any of the Netflix episodes Ozark?
Yes. And no. Go ahead with what you're going to say.
I think it's very entertaining show. I started watching it yesterday. I watched
watch it.
8 episodes.
Are there boobies? That's all I watch nowadays. I'm
No.
joking.
No.
All right, I'm not
Well,
watching.
yes, there are. There are women in it, and they're not wearing burlap sacks. So, but no,
Okay, good.
it's not.
That's all I care about.
It's sex is a very, very, very small part of it.
It's not like Spartacus.
It's not like Game of Thrones where there's naked, cold,
Stop right
midget
there.
dungeon sex.
I never watched that shit. That is stupid. That's for nerds.
Game of Thrones. I tried watching
It's
it.
for fucking
People,
losers.
there's a lot of losers then, man. A lot of people were into that. I did not care for it.
Correct. you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's a lot of losers out there. The average
Yes,
IQ in
you're right.
America is 100.
Well, do you know?
Um,
Have I said this when we were talking about IQs and I did a little more research? Did you know that in the United States,
Average IQ is 97.
okay, 98 is what I read. Whatever,
Or-
same thing.
Oh.
Yeah, relative
Yeah.
to the whole world, we're less than 100. Fuck me.
Yeah. It's because there's so much of everybody around. It's like America's the only country where you didn't have a domestic, well, awkward Native Americans. But America is the only country where you didn't have like a domestic race. So the primary, oh my God, this is such a good thought. And then I just fucking farted it out. Do you know where I was going with that? I just lost
We gotta
that whole
back up.
thought.
We gotta back up.
You didn't have, so there's no like 90% of the country isn't one thing, right? You don't have like, it's not.
Oh
And
yeah, there's.
if you say
there's
white
no,
people's a fucking race, go fuck yourself. You're stupid.
yeah, there's
Like
there's
it's Italians, Scots, Polacks.
yeah, culture doesn't go back any time at all. Blink of
Yeah.
an eye, and there's no homogeneity to our
Oh,
thoughts, values, cultures at all. I think that's maybe, if not how you were going to say it, maybe kind of where your head was at.
Exactly. So there's no, you have the best of everything. So your smart people are smarter, and your dumb people are dumber.
Right. So Germany goes back 2000,
2,000
most,
years. Yeah.
yeah. Europe, most countries go back, 1,500 to 2,500 years.
We're at like 400 tops. Like on a good, like if you're doing the math, you're like being a little
Maybe.
bit
I mean,
lenient, 400 years.
right.
is
We were a
good.
British
Yeah.
colony until 250 years ago. Right. So, and
Right.
we didn't start, I mean, the fuck you, we're ragtag, independent capitalists. That's 250 years old.
Yeah. And then there's,
And-
then you got,
And, and that's when, immigration was huge from, say, mid 18th century or even early 18th century till really even now. So we've been in a constant state of flux throughout the whole thing.
I think you don't have fast immigration until the early industrial period.
Well, that's early 18th century. Industrial Revolution's 1800, like.
I say early 19th. I don't think till after the Civil
Right, I'm
War
sorry.
you can have immigration.
What did I say? 18th century? I meant 19th
Yeah.
century. Sorry. Yeah, right around 1800
Okay,
is
so
the Industrial
1800s.
Revolution.
Yeah.
Yep,
18
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like you said, Industrial Revolution. Yeah,
That was
totally
like
agree.
17, right? Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, and
so
you got Polacks, Wops like me, Scots like you and my pop, and then everybody else that nobody fucking cares about. I feel like those are the big three: Italians, Polish, Scotch-Irish.
my
that's all that
McKays didn't
matters.
come here until 1920.
Yeah, my Houston came from Canada. Oh my god, I shouldn't have told anybody that. In like the 1920-ish, my
Okay, yeah,
grandfather
Canada-
came across.
North America, but when
Or
did they come to
great-grandfather.
Canada?
Fucking forever ago.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
great grandfather left Sicily in like 1899 and showed up or something like that. Maybe it was like 1902, but my grandpa was born in 1919.
Huh.
That is so long ago. What the That is such a long time.
I get a thing from Ancestry. I put.
That was
failed to
over
put-
100 years ago.
pull my credit card off, and they keep sending me shit. And now they've got stuff back to my grandma and grandpa in Scotland. So I got to go look
Yeah.
at that. So yeah, so on my
Check it out.
dad's side, yeah, they came here around 1920, just before the Great Depression. So, what was my point? Oh, just that, yeah, we're still morphing. I mean, what is our culture? What is our culture? It's getting
You're
all
going to
fucked
end up
up now.
with
I mean, the shit you and I were bitching about 6 months ago about fucking, social justice warriors and trans issues and all these fucked up things that are sidetracking what we should really be paying attention to. Anyway, You started to say.
It's gone. I was just gonna say, yeah, the genome or the genetic pool here is fucking more diverse than anywhere on the globe. Literally
not ju-
anywhere on the globe.
And not just that. I mean, we have these cultures within cultures, right? There's,
Exactly. Yeah.
just in Detroit. I mean, you
Just
had.
talk about Jews.
I was gonna say you had a very. It's a little more spread out now, but at the time you had pockets. You had like Oak Park was a huge kind of Jewish hub, and Hamtramck was and still is very Jewish, but that's changing. Or Polish rather. You had Jews. In as late as the early 1980s, Detroit was the either second or third or fourth rather, third or fourth most populous metropolitan city for Jews in the world. It was either New York and Tel Aviv
Detroit?
were 1 and 2, and I forget in which order, and Detroit was 3.
Tel Aviv had to be 1, right?
I don't know.
Then
New
New York?
New York's what, 8 million people? A lot of Jews.
It's not 7 million Jews though. Like,
Yeah, but
how many
Tel
Jews are in
Aviv
Tel
might only
Aviv?
be 1 million people. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. They were 1 and 2. Could be Tel Aviv. Anyway, but again, Detroit was 3. I'm pretty sure.
And I
Might have
love
been-
Jews. That's great. I love having them around. Like, they're good for the community. But I was just saying, like, within the Jewish culture, you go from, like, you have Jews like the Jews that I went to school with who are, like, no different than me. They're like the same as Charlie, do stupid shit and whatever, do okay in school, and then you get a job, whatever, you're a fuck up. And then you got the Hasids, and you got Orthodox Jews. Like, all that stuff is within just, like, Farmington Hills, West Bloomfield Township. Like, that's all right there. Bloomfield Hills, that all exists within those 4 cities, which is just crazy to me. But, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah. You have and you have Mexican Village, which is like totally
Boo.
Mexican.
No, I'm just joking. They have great food there.
You have the city of Detroit, which is I think 90% black.
No way.
Yeah,
Used to be.
I think it still is. But that's not a culture, but pockets of it are cultural.
My director
So anyway,
used to say.
this and we obviously know Metro Detroit better than other cities and states, but this country is all over the place culturally. But that's what's good, man. That's what's good. I said to Sherry one time, I said, and I think I might have said this on another show. I was like, why doesn't everybody just sleep with everybody else? Let's all be like some shade of
One thing.
Yeah. But then somebody was talking about
83%,
it.
by the way.
Somebody brought that up. 85? Okay.
83. 2.7.
83? Okay. All right. I stand corrected.
Fucking idiot.
But I was off by less than 10%, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
Do you want a
that's my
cookie?
thing. Yes, I'd like a cookie. Please bring one over.
No, you're right. And yeah, if everybody just starts mixing and mixing, then you get one thing. But
But that would be, in a way, that would be bad. And it might even have been,
yeah,
somebody
it would be
brought this
bad.
up because cultural stuff is good. Like, have you ever been to Ackroyd's
yeah.
Scottish Bakery?
No, but I love
So
everything
what-
that's like ethnic.
When all this shit ends, we'll go there because Brian and I want to try. I don't want real haggis, but have you ever had a Scottish meat pie? Probably not if you haven't heard of Ackroyd's.
I know haggis, they like cook it inside of a sheep's stomach or some shit like that.
Yeah, well, they make haggis meat pies. So, again, when all this shit ends, and Brian's totally up for it, we'll go to Ackroyd's, and you, Brian, and I will have a good ethnic from Ackroyd's Scottish dinner.
All right, I'm down.
And you don't have to have haggis, but do you like organ meat? I mean, it's just like liver. It's just rich.
Awful.
It's
fine.
just a
Yeah,
rich
whatever.
meat. But regular meat pies are just beef inside these kind of doughy pastries. And
I just like the idea that if you're gonna make haggis, like It's like inside a sheep's stomach. You have to like kill an animal, like just to make that one meal. Like because you can't get multiple stomachs from a sheep. You only get the one. So it's like like that sheep had to die to make this
Like-
one meal.
Like you could take
You
a
could-
Sharpie and put the sheep's
Yeah.
name on it. Poor guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You couldn't,
well,
like
Yeah, but a
theoretically
steak,
like a cow.
a steak is from
But that's
a
like 50
particular
meals.
animal. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's from like you could do like 50 dinners,
get-
like
no,
one cow, right?
I understand your point. It's interesting and kind of funny. Yeah. So this is the stomach of sheep number 1, 2, 3, or I don't know, right? Rebecca from.
Yeah. Oh, it's an unfortunate name for a sheep.
I was trying to think of something. It's the best I could do.
I got nothing.
You got
Should
nothing.
be nameless animals. Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that. I don't know. A heart, right? People buy hearts. A
Deer heart.
liver,
I've eaten that fresh.
really?
Oh
Have
yeah.
you taken a bite of a raw heart?
Fuck no, not raw. What do you think I am? I'm not Buffalo Bill.
I don't know.
I ate it. We cooked it. We cut it up and cooked it up. It was not good. It was just like literally just like olive oil and salt. That was it.
Was it with
It's
your
like-
favorite attorney?
Yes. Yeah.
And were you
Super
guys
tough.
was he being? It was tough. Was it like being? I don't know. One with, like, I don't know. Was it a Rambo moment?
Yeah, it was like a Fred Bear moment. It was cool. But except for that, like if I had eaten it right there, like he legit was like cutting this shit up and he was just like, and he was like reached into this thing. He was like threw it
I'm
behind
out.
him, and I
I'm
caught
out.
it and I was like, what the fuck? And it's heart. Yeah.
I'm out.
He's
yeah.
he's an artist. It took away from
Yeah.
it that we had to cook it up like back at the house. You know, it wasn't as cool. Like if I just taken a bite out of it right there, but we went back to the house and put it in a pan and cut it up and put
I'm-
oil on it and shit.
I'm not interested in visiting that
good.
gallery.
It wasn't bad. It was fine.
No,
I
I'm
have the
just
pelts
saying,
from that deer downstairs.
just dressing out a deer and cutting the heart out and wanting to eat it fresh that night is like, okay, not my gig. I'd rather go to the meat counter.
Whatever. It's part of the game. You can't
I-
like if you're not gonna play. I'm sorry. I should say if you're gonna play, you gotta fucking play the game. You can't like. You're like, yeah, I shot the fucking deer and that was it. I just didn't dress it, didn't clean it, nothing. I just took it to some fucking guy. He did everything, and then it's in like nice styrofoam package.
Well, there are hunting clubs that totally do that.
That's gay. That's stupid. If you do that, you're weak. Unless you've paid your dues and done that 50 times already before then.
I
know?
guess. I don't know.
But
So if you're a guy
Otherwise,
like me
it's
and I just want to walk
stupid.
up to the meat counter and buy a steak, where does
No,
that
that's
put me
fine.
in? Okay.
no, it puts you like in the same boat as everybody else. And you
I
didn't
shot the
kill an
bird.
animal. So
I shot the bird. Oh, and by the way, that was
Yeah, I
at a
see it.
hunting
It's
club.
right there.
That was at a hunting club, and we took the pheasants to the place, and we had a real nice lunch. And the pheasants were brought back to us, all dressed out, shrink wrapped, ready for the freezer.
Exactly. That's not manly.
I was just along for the ride. I had no idea how any of this was going to go.
I'm not passing judgment. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm just
They
telling you what
said,
it is.
Bring a gun and be ready to shoot. And I'm like, okay. I brought the gun. I
Yeah.
shot. I didn't miss
There you
both
go.
times.
Nice.
Although, have you been pheasant
Super.
shooting?
No.
Have you ever seen a bird get its neck wrung?
Like a
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done that. Not with pheasants. You can do it with other shit, but yeah. Like wax wings and stuff like that.
I never, so wring your neck, right? Had heard it a million times. And so the story I told, the first one I shot, my bird fell out of the sky. The second one, I winged it. So it kind of went down. The dog brought it back. And I'm like, oh, I kind of felt bad. And and Brian's dad just took the thing and wound it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, man. And he did it just like so instantly, instinctively, and quickly that I was just like, wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, just not my gallery.
Yeah, it's very easy. You can do it, whatever. It's fine. But
If I
yeah,
grew
the
up in
smaller
a
birds, the
different
fucking thing
time,
just comes right off.
if I grew up in a different time where I'm literally, you know, you hunt or you
You need
starve.
that bird. Yeah.
I'm sure, no big deal. But, I grew up like we had ducks in the backyard and whatever. Poor little guy. Poor little guy got his neck wrung. He was just out for a nice little
Who
flight
cares?
that day. I don't know.
Who cares?
I don't know.
If he'd, that's wrong. I shouldn't say that. Well, I'm not going to say it.
You can say it. I don't know. I
I was
got
going to say if he deserved to live, he would have been made human. God would have made him a man instead of a duck.
Ooh, now we're getting into biblical stuff.
Yeah. Well, I don't really mean God. I mean like nature. Like that spirit would have embodied like my body instead of like a duck's body.
I don't know,
really believe in the
man.
whole God thing.
I don't know.
Everything on this earth that like was supposed to end up like you and I ended up. And only one thing ended up like that, which is you and I. Everything else fucking failed, and that's why it's food. Which is such a sad thing. Like I don't even think that that's not sad. I think it is sad.
That's such
like,
that's so consistent with like fundamental Christianity.
No, it's Darwinism.
Not necessarily. Because if it's Darwinism and it's you or me in the woods with a bear, humans don't win.
Well, I don't have a gun near me. This is why we win. Shit like that. That's the very reason right there. You already won just with that, right? That's what makes
you think
it
you're
better.
taking down a grizzly with that knife?
No, but with a spear, maybe. Yeah. You could sharpen up a fucking
I don't know.
fucking
I think on
10-foot
that
long
one, I want
pike
some.
and just
want some-
drive that thing home. Yeah.
The thing is, all that's gonna do is make him mad. And even if you did get him, he's gonna have you dead first. Anyway,
Assuming that I have 0 time to prepare, that's a fair point. I have no nails. I don't.
right. And even
Yeah,
if you
he's got me.
jam
That's
that
fine.
spear in him, that ain't gonna stop him. You'll be dead. He'll have you
Oh
dead.
fuck yeah, I would.
Yeah.
What if I dropped a boulder on him on his head? He's just like the bear's chilling out in the cave.
Teleology. If you
Just
had
like-
to, if you had to shove a bear
No, a rock
To flip
onto
a
a bear or its
switch.
cubs. Yeah.
to flip a switch, to change the direction of a train, do you win the fight against
To
the bear?
kill a bear or a man?
Right.
Yeah, would you rather? Yeah.
Anyway, we've been rambling on for an hour. Oh, fucking A, we have.
Yeah. Almost an hour and a half.
Well, that went fast. You ready to call it?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get some hungry dogs.
Let's do another one. Is man the epitome of life on this earth?
Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
Ask again later. Damn.
How long do we have to wait? Do
can't
it. Do
just-
it. You're
I
allowed.
was gonna say I just.
You're allowed.
All right.
Ask again.
Is
It's
man the
later.
epitome of life on this earth?
You just jinxed yourself.
Outlook? Good.
Huh.
So it's not there yet, but so far, I would say that means that man is going to become extinct soon. And there'll be another thing that's better.
It's funny. I was going to say something that's kind of the other direction. You could say that just called into question global warming.
What do you mean?
Well, is man the epitome? The outlook is good. Then if we're the be-all, end-all, and we're contributing to global warming, well, then shut the fuck up. right?
Yeah, good point. You're right. Outlook, good. Yes, man is the best thing ever. None of us are dying from that shit yet, so who cares?
Right, and the world is our
I
oyster.
think we should end it there.
Okay.
What? Yeah, exactly.
All right. It's Sunday night. Tomorrow's work. It's weird how these
Tuesday
days
off.
bleed into each other. You need a day off? I do
Required
too, man.
R&R.
I really need a day
Required
off.
R&R.
Required R&R?
Mandatory, yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm going to fire up some tunes. And
Ask a bear to fucking make this. How about that? It's a pen. Ask a bear to make a pen.
just get him to write.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
All right, bye, bears.
I'm out first.
I'm smarter than the average bear.
You are. You're out second, man. And we are off.